As you all know, that the Department of Higher Education and Training is transitioning its a lesson delivery from the Report 191 Engineering Studies and Business Studies and introducing occupational programs which are accredited by the QCTO. So what we'll be looking at today, as you know also that there is a book coming up with, rather from Macmillan and Topel Publishers, that deals specifically with an electrician under the QCTO program. So what we'll be looking at today is what you will need as a startup electrician. Now, it might not be all the equipment that I'll be showcasing it to you today, but we'll talk about the few that will simply get you started. This is Smart Mates, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome to today's session. I'm Sito Bejane, and in today's session, we'll be doing something a little different. We all know that to become an electrician, there are certain stages that one needs to undergo. One, you need to be attending your theoretical concept, and then your practical concept, or rather your practical offering or session. And thereafter, you need to be trade tested. Now, in your trade test, that is when you are going to acquire a certain section of a certificate that certify you as a qualified electrician, or one rather may prefer as a qualified artisan. Now, once you've acquired that, the education does not stop there. There are many steps that you need to take. One, you may also want to also obtain your wireman's license. This will certify you as an accredited wireman, and you'll be able to do house wirings, which is one of the important aspects of becoming an electrician. And it's very fun, if you may ask me. But one important thing that one needs to take note when you want to become an electrician is that you need to have passion and love for electrical engineering. Now, in today's session, we'll be just showcasing some of the few hand tools that you may need to have handy in order for your work to become very simple. Now, the most important thing is your protective gear. Today, I may not look like much because I'm not working. Really, I'm not in a workshop and I'm not working as an electrician, but I'm here just to showcase some of the equipments and some of those that you'd find in your electrician book from Macmillan. Now, one of the instruments that you would need as an electrician would be your measuring tape. Now, this might look very small, but this is a startup. Remember, you're only starting in working as an electrician. So as time goes by, you'll get the hang of it. It's as simple as that. Now, for me, this is just a 3 meter measuring tape. But what do you use this for? Remember, you're working with electrical wires. You are working with PVC pipes. You need to take measurement when you're installing these electrical wires, these PVC pipes in a wall or in an industrial settings. You cannot just be installing wires without taking measurements. At the end of the day, you'll have your electrical installation not that beautiful. So this measuring tape is very important. It has a little hinge just at the back for you to hinge it on your belt or perhaps on your toolbox, which comes in very handy and very important. You need your spirit level, right? This spirit level has a couple of indicators. As you can see, there's 3 indicators on it. There's the vertical one, there's the horizontal one, there's the diagonal one. What is the purpose of this? You need to install your distribution board, for an example. And on a later stage, we'll make a video showcasing how to connect your distribution board. I think this is one of the important aspects of becoming an electrician, more particularly domestic electrician. So this spirit level is going to guide you in how to set up your distribution board so that it becomes perfectly square. It should not be skewed to the side. It would very look ugly. And I don't think your clients will be enjoying that. Even when you are installing your PVC pipe, they should be very straight and neat. This is where this tool comes in very handy. It's a very small tool as a startup electrician, but there are different types of tools and spirit levels that you may want to use. Remember, there's also a laser spirit level that will obviously, as a laser, show you how, and it's a guide to show you how you can go about installing whatever that you want to install. And it comes in very handy and it is very helpful. So this is your spirit level. Take note of these terminologies, good people, that I'm listing to you, because those are some of the things that you'll be asked when you are being assessed in your classroom. We have a hacksaw, a very small but very handy tool. It has multiple purposes. It can cut through some small steels. It can cut through PVC pipe. It can cut through copper pipes. Very handy tool, and it works like magic. It is important for you to have it. As you can see, it just have a hedge, or rather a hacksaw blade right at the bottom there. And I have just one to show to you. We use this to chop down on the copper wires so that they are in a perfect position and they are in a perfect length. This is after you measured them with your tape. So chopping down of those copper wires and even some metals, in some house settings, your wires must go through conduit pipe, metal conduit pipe. Your hedge saw comes in very handy for that specific task. So that is your hedge saw, good people. And we'll continue showing you some more. And there are different types of this hedge, or rather hedge saw, and shapes. As you could see in your screen, I'll display them right there. These are very important for a startup electrician. So that is just our hacksaw. Now, going right along, we have an electrician's knife. This is an electrician's knife. Very small tool. It has some blades here. You can just engage the blades and disengage the blades. And as you can see, as you see in your screen, the blades have a couple of pre-made break spots here. Once the top of the blade is worn out, you can just break it out, and then it continues working like magic. So in most cases, these tools become very handy, more particularly when it comes to cutting of wires, markings on the PVC pipe. These tools come in very handy and they're important. And this is just one of my favorite tools because I always keep it right next to me whenever I'm working with electricity. So I know that I would always be cutting wires. Even when you are trying to unjacket a very big wire, it could be easy to use that particular tool. But one of the important tool, besides the electrician's knife, to strip a wire would be your stripping plier. This is your stripping plier, as you can see right there. A very nice and portable tool. It has a couple of strippers, as you can see right here. There are a couple of strippers there where you could fit in your cable, and you could just apply pressure there and you pull your cable out just like that. We have some spaces here to measure the diameter of your cable right there. As you could see, those holes, you could use them to measure and get the type of a millimeter in terms of diameter your cable is. And of course, you could just use that to strip your cables. Just at the center there, you have just this razor sharp place where it is pushed against a flat surface. You could use that to crimp as a crimping tool or as a cable cutter. The last part here is used for crimping. That specifically is for crimping when you are also using crimping files to make the ends of your cable. Very, 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 very important. There we have your claw hammer. That is your claw pin hammer. This is your claw pin hammer. This side is used to remove nails. Your hammer is very important. Remember, to secure your PVC cable on the wall, you would need sometimes to even hammer the pins of the securers. This is one of the important tools that an electrician must have. And it could be coming up in different sizes and different shapes, and of course, on different names that you can see appearing in your screen right there. Those indicate the types of hammers that one needs to have and the sizes of those hammers. A very important tool that one needs to have. Another important tool are your screwdriver set right here. This is your screwdriver set. As you can see in your screen there, you have a couple of flat drivers, the biggest, your star. This is your star screwdriver right there. Uh, so you could use that to when you are working as an electrician. Very important tools. They are very usable. You have one which is my favorite to test out the activeness of a wire. There's a little bulb right there, and then you just pinch it across a cable, and of course when it illuminates it will tell you that this is an active wire. When it does not illuminate, it will then indicate that the wire is inactive and it is not operational as you would see it like that. Very important tool. And you also have your torque screwdriver, as you could see. This is your torque screwdriver. It works like magic. It works like wonders. It helps you with the strain. You see, when you are using this one, you may have to rotate your hand, from time to time and letting go, and it becomes very difficult, more particularly when you are working with a very loose screw, that at the moment you let go, your screwdriver might fall apart. But with this one, you don't have to let it go. You can always work on it while applying pressure. These are the tool bits, the driver bits, the ones that you use right at the top. Uh, you see, there's just one example here. It's a star, and it uses a magnetic attacher inside. You can change the direction, either to screw it in or to unscrew that particular object that you are working with. Perfect, and it's a beautiful, handy object that one may want to use. It's a very beautiful tool, and that is one of the most important part of having your tools. We have a file. Now, this also is very important. Remember that when you want to join your PVC wires, these edges need to be rough in order for them to attach properly with the glue. So you need this type of material to rough up those edges of your PVC pipe, or it could be your copper pipe and the likes. Very important. Now, with a set of pliers, as you could see right here, you have your hand plier, your normal plier, very handy. You have your long nose plier. This is your long nose plier, a very handy tool, very nice tool. You have your side cut, very nice tool to cut off those access cables and to cut off the tips of those wires that might be an access when you're installing cables. And of course, you have your plumber's plier, or rather, it is called your water pump plier. It is adjustable, as you could see like that. It depends on how you are using it. Very important tool. It's a must-have, a very important tool. Now, we also have your hot gun. Your hot gun, very important. It uses a hot glue. This is mostly used whenever you want to join some small object that can't build up heat, because if you're joining cables that build up heat during operation, this is more likely to melt out and of course leave you with an unattended type of wire. So this is your hot glue. Of course, it may come in different sizes. This is a smaller one and this is a bigger one. I use both of them. It depends on the type, but I like the bigger ones. They are more efficient, as you may think. This, on the other hand, is your soldering iron. More particularly when you are working with electronic components, you need to solder those wires. This is my large soldering iron that I use. And of course, we have a smaller one. This is a smaller one. It's a plug and play. It is not regulated. That one you can change the amount of heat that is being produced by the solder. Now, those are just a couple of these tools that you may need to use. There are many tools that one needs in order to work as an electrician. But I've just showcased a few. If you go through your books, your working material, you'd find plenty of these tools. And now those tools are very handy. Now, in our next session, we'll be looking at how to incorporate your hand tools with power tools. We'll be looking at some hand drills, we'll be looking at some grinders, we'll be looking at some wrenches. Those are some of the power tools that an electrician would need as a startup. Those are not all, but in your books you'd find all of them. But for today, that's it, good people. I hope you've enjoyed the session. And if you have questions, please write them down in the comment section. But do not forget to subscribe and like this channel. That is important. It is what keeps us going and help us make more videos so that it will help your classroom very easier. See Tobejani, and this is Smart Mates.